city of Algeria from 4th to 10th September 2025. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I wish to express my utmost congratulations to His Excellency, the President of the People's Democratic Republic of Algeria, His Excellency, the Prime Minister of the People's Democratic Republic of Algeria, and the Minister of Trade and Export Promotion of the People's Democratic Republic of Algeria, and the entire members of the government of People's Democratic Republic of Algeria who contributed in bringing the signing of this agreement to reality. Your dedication and hard work have made it possible that we gather here today for the important occasion for ensuring that Algeria won the bid to host the 4th edition of the Inter-African Trade Fair. And once again, we heartily congratulate the Democratic Republic of Algeria. The Iatf 2025 hosting agreement represents more than just a contractual agreement. Rather, it symbolizes a collective responsibility of the partners for excellence and innovation in continuing the tradition of the Intra-Africa Trade Fair, which has become established as the Africa Continental Trade Agreement, and cooperation, integration, and investment event, and the biggest of its kind in Africa. The IF continent of economic, social, pursue these goals and affecting Bank in collaboration with the African Union, with the African Union Commission and noble cause of changing the social of Africa. Devising progressive at promoting trade continental Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, in a global economy, and we are all connected in one way or another. In the global age, trade and sharing and for caring, Africa have actually in the
My kids are more than precious to me. Seeing them doing well, healthy and happy brings me so much joy. I know it's my responsibility to ensure they are well nourished. So I use Dangote salt in my cooking. It is high quality salt that's refined and iodized to give great taste to my meals and also support my family's health and well-being. And it's got a name that I trust. Dangote salt is refined and iodized to help prevent iodine deficiency disorders. So give your family meals that taste delicious and support their well-being with Dangote salt. It's time to care about your salt. Choose quality, choose Dangote salt.
The journey to build a sustainable Africa is asking more of the finance sector than ever before. Access Holdings is turning this vision into a reality, thanks to its environmentally conscious financial services. Whether it's reaching for carbon neutrality or inspiring the next generation of leaders, Access is living by its green credentials to ensure that Africa's future is sustainable and prosperous. Access, where financial solutions connect the world.
products and market. And we need to have the infrastructure that will make it possible to trade more among ourselves. As the minister pointed out in his speech, we need the type of road infrastructure and thriving coastal shipping. Why can't we have coastal shipping from Algiers along the West African up to Cape? These are the type of infrastructure that we need to be able to increase trade among ourselves. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as I conclude, I would like to reiterate that the IATF 2025 Advisory Council is committed to delivering together with you, our partner, and those who will sponsor and who will participate in the Intra-African Trade Fair, all that will make this trade fair a great success. Through IATF, we must strive to raise the bar as we progress towards attaining of our development goals as espoused in the African Union Agenda 2063. The Africa we want, and in attaining the goals of bringing Africans together to transact in a common marketplace. In closing, considering the zeal demonstrated by Algeria, the host for IATF 2025, I want to express my sincere appreciation and, of course, optimism for the journey we have gone together so far. And I am sure that the IATF 2025 will be bigger, better, and more appreciated than all the three that we have had in the past. I like what I heard here yesterday, that not only will the IATF 2025 improve and make possible trade transaction within Africa, it will improve and make possible trade transaction between Africa and the Arab world. This is very unique as a result of you agreeing to host the IATF 2025. Thank you once again, and I look forward to seeing you at IATF 2025 as we continue this journey of African Renaissance, particularly in trade and integration together. I thank you for your kind attention.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Thank you for your wise and kind speech. Your presence among us on this very ceremony means a lot. Thank you very much. You remind the importance of having data and infrastructure, of course. Ladies and gentlemen, time is running out, so we kindly remind our distinguished guests to not exceed 10 minutes speech, please. We are going to listen now to Mr. Chiza Charles Shumya, representing Ambassador Albert Mushanga, Commissioner for Trade and Industry, African Union Commission.
Your Excellency, Mr. Nabil Labouni, the Prime Minister of the People's Republic of Algeria, Your Excellency, Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, Chairperson of the Iatf Advisory Council and former President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Your Excellency, Madam Bete, former Vice President of the Republic of South Africa, Your Excellency, Minister of Trade and Export of the People's Democratic Republic of Algeria, Mr. Tayoub Zitouni, and all the ministers of this great republic that are present in this room this morning. Madam Kanayo Awani, Executive Vice President, Inter-African Trade Bank, AfCFTA Bank, Mr. Karim Bugdum, Director General of SAFEX. Let me also recognize the representative of His Excellency Wamkele Mene, Secretary General of the AfCFTA Secretariat, Mr. Chakwi Jabali. Mr. Jean Ekra, former President of AfCFTA Bank and Vice President of the Inter-African Trade Fair Advisory Council. Distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. The African Union is delighted to be part and parcel of today's function, in which we will witness yet another milestone in this journey of inter-African trade fairs, which is taking place in this beautiful and historic city of Algiers, under the high patronage of His Excellency, the Prime Minister of the Republic of Algeria, Mr. Nabil Labouni. I bring you the warm and fraternal greetings of both His Excellency Moussa Faki, Chairperson of the African Union, and His Excellency Ambassador Albert Muchanga, Commissioner for Economic Development, Trade, Tourism, and Minerals. They all wanted to be part of this historic function today, but due to exigencies of duties, they are unable to. My duty, therefore, this morning is to deliver these remarks on their behalf. Your Excellencies, distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, we at the African Union are delighted that the Inter-African Trade Fair Series continue to register good success and to deliver on the goals that it was set. We are also delighted that the government of the People's Democratic Republic of Algeria came forward to host this fourth edition after winning a very competitive bid. The Inter-African Trade Fair continues to play a very important and strategic role in Africa's trade development story. It has allowed Africa to move beyond narratives to action. You may wish to recall, Your Excellencies, that in 2012, when the decision was made to come up with the African Continental Free Trade Area, another decision was made to boost inter-Africa trade, which through an action plan that is called the BIAT Action Plan. One of the clusters in that action plan aims to address the challenges related to lack of trade information, and the ITF has so far proved to be a solution to that challenge. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, trade information is key for the successful implementation of the AfCFTA, as well as in boosting intra-Africa trade. Africa needs a vibrant AfCFTA. It needs a vibrant market. especially given the global dynamics and the experience which have resulted in growing protectionism, disruption and paralysis of supply chains, and drastic drop in demand. These disruptions for the past 4 years in the global trading system need to serve as a constant reminder that a strong, self-sustaining African market is crucial for our survival. In addition, the lessons of other regions of the world, such as Asia, continue to show us that trade can be a powerful tool for economic growth. While trade was able to lift millions out of poverty in Asia, the same has not reflected in our continent. As you heard, intra-African trade is still very low. But the IATF is one of that important tool to make this change. Your Excellencies, distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, the AfCFTA was designed to change this story as well. Not only was it meant to boost intra-African trade, but it was meant to deal with Africa's perennial challenges such as job creation, high levels of poverty, low levels of manufacturing and industrial base. It was designed to create a predictable legal framework for Africa's trade environment and investments, hence offering more guarantees to investors and thereby bringing certainty and predictability to the African trading environment. However, this can be attained if, among others, we pay particular attention to ensuring that our private sectors have unabated access and availability to information for both where to source their products and at the same time where to sell them. Distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, having in our hands such powerful tools for our trade development should be reasons enough for us to spur into action and to faithfully rally our energies to implement this agreement. It is therefore in this regard that the African Union Commission continues to implement flanking measures to make sure that all these tools that we have are able to make us realize the African single market. And one such measure that we are working with at the African Union Commission is called the African Trade Observatory, which when completed is expected to ensure that the continent has current qualitative and quantitative trade-related data and information from all African Union member states and in real time. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to conclude by stating that the African Union, we see partnerships as very key in all these programs about trade development in the continent. It is therefore in these reasons that we really appreciate and thank the sterling role that the Afreximbank has been playing in this regard, not only in the organization of intra-African trade fairs, but also in providing trade finance in this continent. We therefore look forward to IATF 2025, and we believe it will surpass all the milestones of the previous editions and set new standards for trade fairs in the continent as it contributes to Agenda 2063. We wish the host country and all stakeholders fruitful preparations for the successful hosting of the 4th edition of the trade fair. I thank you for your kind attention.
Thank you, Mr. Shumya Chizachard. You are representing Ambassador Albert Mushanga, Commissioner for Trade and Industry, African Union Commission. The last speech now, I invite Shawqi Jabali, representing His Excellency Wamkele Mini, Secretary General, AfCFTA Secretariat.
Your Excellency, Mr. Nadir Larbawi, Prime Minister of the People's Democratic Republic of Algeria, Your Excellency, Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, Chairperson of the IATF 2025 Advisory Council and former President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. For the benefit of time, let me stand by the protocol used by those who spoke before me, all protocols being observed. Dear colleagues and friends, good morning. I'm delighted to be here today for the momentous signing ceremony of the IATF 2025 host country agreement and the inaugural meeting of the IATF 2025 Advisory Council. At the outset, I would like to state that the AfCFTA Secretariat is excited to co-host the biannual Intra-African Trade Fair, branded the AfCFTA Marketplace, with the AfricSimbank and the African Union Commission. The IATF is our strategic response to the challenge of trade information scarcity, aiming to enhance intra-African trade and investments, all without the need for the outside help. And it serves as a symbol of hope and opportunity, breaking down conventional trade and investment barriers to unite the diverse yet cohesive African identity. The IATF 2025 marks the fourth edition of the fair and reflects our strong partnership in delivering an event that yields significant benefits for our continent. It highlights our collective commitment to collaboration, innovation, and the enhancement of intra-African trade and investment for the well-being of our people and the entire continent. As we convene today, I want to underscore the important and transformative impact that trade and investment have on Africa's economic growth and prosperity. One of the fair's standout initiatives, the Creative Africa Nexus, highlighted the continent's flourishing creative economy by showcasing sectors such as fashion, music, film, arts and crafts, sports, gastronomy, and culinary arts. CANEX provided a platform for African creatives to gain visibility, connect with international markets, and attract investment. This initiative not only promotes cultural exchange, but also contributes to economic diversification, job creation, and the strengthening of Africa's cultural industries. Similarly, the Africa Automotive Show played a crucial role in spotlighting the automotive industry's potential in the continent. By providing a platform for manufacturers, assemblers, original equipment manufacturers, and component suppliers to exhibit their products and network with potential buyers and suppliers, the event catalyzed opportunities for growth and development within the sector. This is particularly important for Africa, where the automotive industry is poised for expansion due to increasing demand, urbanization, and economic growth. The Africa Automotive Show thus contributes to building a sustainable automotive industry that can generate employment, foster technological innovation, and reduce dependency on imports. The various activities and their successes at IATF 2023 illustrate the vital role of trade fairs and exhibitions in not only facilitating business transactions, but also in shaping economic landscapes. They provide a unique convergence point for ideas, innovations, and partnerships that propel sectors forward, catalyze economic diversification, and enhance competitiveness on a global scale. As we move forward, the insights and successes from the IATF 2023, together with those from previous fairs, will undoubtedly illuminate the path for future initiatives aimed at leveraging trade and investment to unlock Africa's full economic potential. Today, we also celebrate the selection of Algeria as the host country for IATF 2025, a choice made through an extensive review process. Algeria's selection following Egypt and South Africa underscores its key role and dedication to fostering African unity and economic progress. Algeria has demonstrated its commitment by promptly ratifying the AfCFTA agreement and actively engaging in the preparatory work, including submitting its AfCFTA tariff offer, which is among those officially adopted. The active participation reflects Algeria's leadership within the AfCFTA and its government's commitment to continental economic integration. Algeria's recent induction into the Guided Trade Initiative, coupled with its role as the host for IATF 2025, is poised to yield significant benefits, particularly given its current economic structure. With the hydrocarbon sector, particularly predominantly petroleum, contributing to approximately 20% of its GDP and accounting for nearly 90% of export revenue, Algeria's economy faces notable exposure to volatilities of global oil prices. This dependence underscores an urgent need for diversification, a challenge that resonates with the experiences of other member states. By joining the Guided Trade Initiative, Algeria is making a big step towards improving trade conditions and growing its manufacturing sector with a focus on non-hydrocarbon industries. This transition is vital for broadening Algeria's trade activities and bolstering its economic resilience against external shocks. Despite its involvement in the Pan-African Free Trade Area, Pan-Arab Free Trade Area and a bilateral agreement with Mauritania, Algeria has had limited preferential access to the broader African market. The AfCFTA and IATF 2024, therefore, offer a significant chance to expand market access through tariff reductions and the elimination of non-tariff barriers, among other advantages, paving the way for increased trade and investment opportunities. With the esteemed presence of His Excellency Prime Minister Larbawi and the strong initiative demonstrated in the bid to host, I am confident that the fourth edition of the Inter-African Trade Fair will be executed with precision, promising outcomes that will meet our collective aspirations. As we gear up for the landmark event, our focus must be on inclusivity, ensuring that every sector, entrepreneur, and country, particularly our vibrant youth and women-led businesses, finds a place. We must also lean into innovation and the digital economy, pushing for digital integration that simplifies trading for African enterprises in an increasingly digitalized world. Algeria's eagerness to welcome Africa and the world in 2025 exemplifies African solidarity in action. We can't wait to get together in Algiers in 2025. I call upon all stakeholders to actively participate in and support IATF 2025, including governments, businesses, and entrepreneurs in Algeria and throughout the continent. Let's seize this opportunity to eliminate trade barriers, foster new alliances, and begin a new chapter in Africa's journey toward economic recovery and integration. I'm optimistic that with the collective effort and dedication of all involved, including the host country, Algeria, AfricSimbank, and the African Union Commission, we will deliver a successful IATF 2025. In conclusion, I extend my deepest gratitude to the government and people of Algeria for their gracious hospitality, and to all our esteemed partners and delegates for your unwavering commitment to advancing Africa's economic transformation. Together, let's ensure that IATF 2025 becomes a defining moment in our collective quest for African unity and prosperity. Thank you.
شكرا سيد شوقي جبالي. أنت ممثل
Thank you so much, Mr. Shawqi Jabari. You are the representative of Wankili Miri, Secretary General of AfCFTA.
Cover the promotional video about EITF 2025.
La Banque africaine d'import-export, AfCFTA, en collaboration avec la Commission de l'Union africaine et le secrétariat de la ZLECAf, vous présente la 4e foire commerciale intra-africaine, l'Iatf 2025, qui sera accueillie par la République algérienne démocratique et populaire à Alger. L'Iatf 2025, la foire commerciale intra-africaine. Connecter les marchés africains. Se basant sur le succès de l'Iatf 2023 qui a accueilli.
And this depends on the success that has been witnessed previously, especially in the third edition, as more than 28,000 visitors have visited this fair, and more than 130 countries have participated in this edition. And around $43.8 million have been observed as investments. And consequently, the fourth edition in 2025 is expected to witness an increase in such investments. As it is the platform that's going to represent the different markets, and it's going to include different shows and road shows for the SMEs. And it is the platform and the event that is going to focus on the trade and industry, which is the nexus in Africa, and it is an innovative exhibition. It's also going to be an exhibition or a fair for the innovative industries. It's going to form a very important chance for the trade exchange between the different countries. And also it would include special days that are going to focus on investments, tourism, and trade. And also there will be the platform, the virtual platform for the IATF that is going to show and present the services, different services. And here we will have the manufacturers and the main hall of the automotive industry.
There's also the automotive show and the youth creative show. We are also celebrating the Diaspora Day, which sheds a light on what the Africans outside do. We are going to meet in Algeria next.
Nous serons heureux de vous y accueillir.
We're pleased to have you during the IATF Edition 4.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the signing ceremony, please welcome to Mr. Taib Zitouni, Minister of Trade and Export Promotion. Mrs. Kanayo Awani, Executive Vice President, Intra-African Trade Bank. Mr. Chiza Charles Shumia, Representing Ambassador Alberts Mushanga, Commissioner for Trade and Industry, African Union Commission. Mr. Shawqi Jabali, representing His Excellency Wamkili Mini, Secretary General, AfCFTA Secretariat. سيد الوزير تفضل. أدعو الآن السيد الوزير الأول نادر.
I call on the Prime Minister Nadir Al-Arbawi to join us.
And His Excellency Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, Chairperson of the EITF 2025 Advisory Council and former President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Please. The signing ceremony, EITF 2025, تحت تصفيقاتكم. Mr. Taib Zitouni, Minister of Trade and Export Promotion, Mrs. Kanayo Awani, Executive Vice President, Intra-African Trade Bank, Mr. Chiza Charles Shumia, representing Ambassador Albert Mushanga, Commissioner for Trade and Industry, African Union Commission, Mr. Shawqi Jabali, representing His Excellency Wamkili Mini, Secretary General, AfCFTA Secretariat. With the presence, of course, of Nadil Arbawi, Prime Minister of People's Democratic Republic of Algeria, and His Excellency Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, Chairperson of the Iatf 2025 Advisory Council and former President for the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And we invite also AfCFTA key principal delegation to join us for the family photo, please. Key principal delegation. شكرا لكم سيد الوزير الأول نادير العرباوي على حضوركم.
Thank you so much, Prime Minister Nadir Al-Arbawi. Your presence here puts an extra emphasis on the role that Algeria plays for efficient African economic integration. Thank you, Mr. Obasanjo, the President of the Advisory Council of the IATF and the former President of Nigeria.
شكرا جزيلا. ندعو السيدات والسادة الحضور الالتزام بأماكنهم.
Now I call on all in attendance to remain in your seats until His Excellency leaves the room. Thank you, Mr. Prime Minister.
For your speech, for your kind and wisdom words. Thank you very much. وسنستمع بعد اللحظات للسيد كريم بوقادوم.
Mr. Karim Boukadoum, the General Director of SAFEX, will be joining us next. Mr. Boukadoum, you have the floor.
You've been watching our RISE coverage live of the IATF Intra-Africa Trade Fair 2025 hosting signing agreement in Algiers, the Algerian political and economic capital. We have the Prime Minister of Algeria who signed on behalf of the government of Algeria. And of course, we have the Vice President at the AfCFTA, Kanayo Awani, who signed on behalf of the IATF. You've heard earlier from the representative of Wamkele Mene, the Secretary General of the AfCFTA, as well as Nigeria's former President Olusegun Obasanjo, who is the Grand Patron of the IATF and who's also been part of the IATF since it was started back in 2018. Algeria will be hosting the next edition of this biannual event in Algiers next November. That's 2025 to be precise. You're watching live images now. We're having the Director General from the Algerian authorities giving the closing remarks at this event over the last 1 hour. This has been a live coverage from Algiers. The IATF 2025 host signing agreement between AfCFTA, the IATF, the African Union, as well as the government of the Federal Republic of Algeria. We'll be right back.